So as we ease ourselves into the new year, I'm going to get you to begin in semi-supine. So you might recognize some of the stuff that we do if you came in on the free class or if you run it yourself on the recording. But we're taking it a little step further than that. So just while I get my text set up, ease yourself to the floor. Give yourself a few moments just to sense the release of your bones to the earth. Now, I did offer, if anybody fancies, we're going to do a little bit of work in this position. So if you feel like you want to put your head on a support, small cushion would do the job. If you feel that your chin is tilting back at all, it's a nice add-on. And then just as you take yourself into this lovely extended semi-supine position, just remind yourself your own personal semi-supine, sliding the feet together. So bring the knees still in the air, the feet together. And then from there, to get your own hip distance position, just keep your knees and your ankles together and roll your feet out into like a 10 to 2 shape. Commonly called the Charlie Chaplin. It gives you a kind of idea of the distance, your hip distance, or your hip mobility distance. And then release the knees, release the heels, and bring the heels in line with the balls of the feet. So you've got that releasing position, that semi-supine position. And then I'm going to get you just to take some lovely deep breaths, breathing in through your nostrils. And as you breathe out, gently sigh the breath out, just releasing the day. Do that again a couple of times. Lovely deep breath in, and then a lovely sigh breath out. The end of that exhale, you'll feel the back of the spine lengthening into the floor. Just pop the hands gently on the tummy. As you breathe in, draw or lift the belly up to the hands. And as you breathe out, allow the belly just to gently fall down away from the hands back towards the floor. So just take that a few times, breathing in, belly lifts. And as you breathe out, belly falls. So just as a reminder that when you feel the waist being drawn off the floor, for me it's called feminine. And when you feel the spine lengthen and that almost that tilt of the pelvis, that curling under of the pelvis, that's masculine. And don't worry too much about what feminine and masculine mean. It's a bit like yin and yang. It's just a really good way just to explain those two movements. So just keep that movement going. I'm building up, making it a bit more of a physical movement. So you can actually feel the rocking forwards and back of the pelvis. Just getting that mobility moving in through the spine. And perhaps even just noticing that as the back of the waist lifts off the floor and you inhale, you come into feminine, the chin seems to reach down to the chest. And as the back of the waist returns to the floor and there's that slight curl under of the tail, it's almost like the head tips back a little bit. So it's almost a kind of flowing, connected movement through the whole of the spine. Don't worry if that's not happening, it doesn't mean you're doing it wrong. Just might find there's perhaps a blockage in that energy channel. Okay, making the next one. Your last one like this, finishing on an exhale. And then as you inhale, just gliding the arms up towards the sky. Softening into the shoulders, fingertips facing the ceiling. You're going to inhale here. And then as you exhale, I want you to start to release the arms into either a T shape or a V shape. And you're going to take the arms slowly down towards the floor, taking the shoulder first, then the upper arm, back of the arm that is, then the elbow, then the lower part of the arm, and then the wrist and the hand. And whether you take a T or a V shape will depend on whether you can feel the release of the bones of the arms to the floor. Now, if you're in a V shape now and you feel as though you're holding the wrists off the floor or the hands off the floor, just adjust slightly into more of a T shape so that you can feel there's a complete softening, a complete letting go of the bones to the floor. Next time you exhale, slide the arms down towards the sides of the hips, drizzling them along the floor. And then we'll just take that again in a moving sequence, breathing in, lifting the arms up to the ceiling, keeping a bit of a neutral spine. And then as you breathe out, begin to drop the upper arms or the shoulders, then the upper arms, then the elbows, then the lower arms, then the wrists, and then the hands. Just taking a breath in whilst you're there, making sure the bones are completely supported by the floor. And then next time you breathe out, slide the arms back down towards the sides of the hips. Okay, take that one more time. Breathing in, pick up those arms. Soften the shoulders. And then slowly allow that gentle release, that quietening, softening, releasing down of the arms. And just pausing as you breathe in to notice the weight of the bones. And then as you breathe out, slide the arms down towards the side of the hips, and at the same time, slide your left knee into your chest, clasping the hands at the front of the left shin. I just want you to pause there for a moment and just feel the weight of your leg and just the release of the left side of the body. All I want you to do then is, as you inhale, press that left shin into the clasped hands until you feel the arms extend and lengthen and the back of the waist draws off the floor. And then as you exhale, slide the leg back in, feel that heavy weight as the thigh goes towards the sides of the ribs. And just take that a few more times. That's it, looking good. Take your time. Make sure you get that little pelvic tilt in the same movement so that you're freeing some of the fascia in the lumbar spine. And then the next time that left thigh comes down towards the left armpit, I want you to take the left hand outside of the left knee and hand the left foot over to the right hand. So you're crossing the lower part of the left leg over the body almost. And from here, you're going to take a little bit of rock the baby. So you're just going to rock that left leg over to the right. You find a little bit of lift from the left hip, but not too much. Try and keep the left foot in line with the left knee. Now we're going to add on to that. So as always, feel free, if it's not right, not to do it. The next time you come to kind of a neutral position, I want you to lift the right knee and place it behind the outer left ankle. So you're kind of in a eye of the needle position. And then from there, you're going to extend your right leg. So you're going to exhale, extend that right heel to the ceiling. And then as you inhale, you're going to bend the right knee and see if you can draw the left knee towards the armpit. Okay, so if you're worried about it, don't worry about the breath too much. So I'm extending the right leg. The left knee will move away from the body. And as I bend the right knee, right heel to bottom, I'm trying to draw my left knee in towards the left armpit. So I'm just kind of increasing that movement a little bit. I'm going to add in again. So next time I bend my right leg, I'm going to place my left fingers onto my left shoulder. Now I'm going to add a little curl up on the left side. So as I extend my right leg, I'm going to curl up and just almost feel it coming into that masculine, like a rounded back, bringing my left elbow towards my left knee. And then as I inhale, I'm going to bring my left knee towards my armpit and bend my right knee. So I'm curling up on the exhale. That's an extended right leg. And then I'm bending the right knee and releasing the left elbow. God, there's a lot to think about, I know. One more time. Let's get you thinking, get that brain working. Okay, once you've released the left elbow back to the floor, place your right foot to the floor and then extend your right leg, placing the left foot onto the right thigh. So this is going to turn into osteopath. So I'm going to eventually end up opening my left arm. So my left arm is extending out along the floor, palm facing up. And as I exhale, I'm going to twist, taking that left leg over to the right. And if I can, tucking that right hip under to take lovely osteopath. That's an extended right leg along the floor and a bend left knee moving to the right. Brilliant. You're looking good. You've got it. Okay, next time I breathe in, I'm going to slide my left fingertips towards my left shoulder. And as I breathe out, I'm going to open that left arm. Now I've got another add-in. So the next time you open the left arm, you've got the option of kicking the right leg. Sorry, kicking the left leg to the right. I knew I was going to get mixed up at some point. So we're just flowing through this. As the left arm opens, you've got the option of kicking the left leg out to the right. That's it. One more time. And then drawing the fingertips back into the shoulder, rolling back onto your back, bringing the left knee into the chest. And then my favourite bit, extending the left leg out along the floor and just comparing it to the right. Just feeling the flattening. You might even feel that that left foot is slightly turned out. Wonderful. So we can do all of those things on the right. So first of all, slide your left foot back into semi-supine. And when you're ready, curl the tail and bring the right knee into the chest, clasping the hands around the right shin. That's it. So that first movement, just pressing the shin into the clasped hands and sending the knee forward so the back of the waist comes off the floor. So you're in feminine. And as you exhale, drawing the knee back, feeling the weight of the bones of the right side. Keep going. So what we're working with at the moment, just as to get you, or get your bodies back to peak performance after a nice break, we're working with what we call somatic yoga. So always open for feedback. Just give me something else to develop a little bit. So next time you draw that right knee back to the chest, it's going to take rock the baby. So hand over your right foot to your left hand. Place the right hand outside of the right knee. And when you're ready, take that little rock. Now, somatics is all about feeling. So it's less about postures, although we are going to do some asanas. But it's more about feeling your way and how these movements feel within your body. Sometimes right side to left is very different. Okay, so halfway across the body with the right leg, bring the left knee up to the outside of the right ankle. Yeah, you know where we're at from now. You're going to extend the left ankle, so extend the left leg, and then bend the left knee. That's the first bit. So you're in this eye of the needle position, but you're just activating the left leg. That's it. Now you can stay with this. This is an option, or you can add in the little curl up. If you're going to do that, place your right fingers on your right shoulder. And as you extend the left leg, you're just going to curl up, drawing the right elbow towards the right knee. And as you take the elbow back to the floor, you're going to bend the left leg. So I've still got hold of my right foot with my left hand, but completely up to you if you want to keep hold of that or not. Okay, take one more time. You're going to feel this in your outer right glute, outer right hip. And it's going to warm us up for a lovely osteopath twist. So as you release that right elbow to the floor, extend your left leg out along the floor, placing seamlessly your right foot onto the left thigh. Extend your right arm into a T position, and I always guide that right leg with my left hand as I twist to the left. Maybe digging into that left heel and tucking the left hip under. That's it. Okay, add in the arm, so bend into your right elbow, bring the fingertips to the shoulder, and then extend the right arm. Now remember, you've got that extra add in if you want it. As you extend the right arm, you can also kick the right leg to the left. And then draw the two back to the starting point. And again, not too worried about what breath you use, as long as you keep breathing. It's much more about feeling the sensation, noticing, observing. And then from there, next time you bring the right foot back onto the left thigh, roll onto your back, bring that right knee to the chest, and then extend the legs. So both legs in extension. And as you feel those feet slightly rolling out, I just want you to place your hands on your hip bones. So these ASIS bones, place the palms of your hands there. And all I want you to do is just gently rock those hip bones from side to side. So it's like your pelvis, or think of your pelvis as a bowl. We call it the pelvic bowl. Think of it that you're rolling the bowl, tipping some fluid out to the left as the left hip rocks to the floor, and tipping some fluid out to the right as the right hip rocks. Nice gentle movement. Well done. Okay, from here, gently slide the feet back to semi-supine and draw both knees to the chest. And just have a little rock from side to side. Last movement in this little sequence, we're just going to take the feet back to the floor one more time, semi-supine position. And we're just going to explore a little bit into bridge. So as you exhale, you're going to lengthen that spine along the floor, and as you inhale, extend the shins, the thighs, the knees forward, and see if you can feel that lovely lift into the whole of the back, well, the front of the body and the back of the body, drawing the chest up to the chin, in that lovely length, that extension. Taking a few breaths while you're up there. Maybe feeling that sense of activating the glutes. And then as you peel down, you're peeling upper, middle and lower back. From there, as the back comes to the floor, just slide the feet together and take the knees out to the side into lovely Supta Baddha Konasana. And there's lots of things we can do here, but we're just going to pop in a little pelvic tilt. So lift the back of the waist off the floor, inhale, exhale, release, back of the waist to the floor. Just do a couple of those movements. And then the next time you exhale, you might find the back of the waist softens, but I just want you to press the feet together and allow the inner thighs to relax a little bit, to soften, to melt. And then from there, we're literally going to use that to come up to sitting. So I'm going to slide my elbows underneath my shoulders, then my hands, and then I'm going to turn to face you. So if you pop your right shin in front of your left shin, Sukhasana style, if you feel that cross leg is not where you're at tonight, you can have the legs extended, absolutely fine. So what I'm going to do from here, got my right leg crossed in front, I'm going to get you to lift your right arm, pop the left hand to the floor, turn into gaze in towards the right arm, and just take a lovely side stretch, reaching out off the side, the right side of the body. And then as you inhale, gently release. Let's change sides. Pop the right hand down, turn to gaze towards the left. Soften that shoulder. And in this particular movement, it's quite a heavy arm. That's nice, I can see. Think of those heavy bones. Okay, raise back to the center and then extend over again. And then back to the middle. Now I'm actually going to stop by looking into my left arm. And the reason is, so I've got my left arm alongside of my ear, that I'm then going to take a kind of extended arm twist. So I've taken my arms out in line with my shoulders, and I'm going to twist around to look, so my tummy button is reaching over towards my right knee. Now, as I do that, I'm going to bring my fingertips to the floor, hopefully. If you can't get your fingertips on the floor, don't worry, you can just place them on the knee. As I exhale, I'm just going to gently start to lengthen over that right knee. And it's almost like I'm going to fold over the knee, and then I change my mind and I'll lift back up again, lifting the chest. So I take A little bit of a rounded back to fall forward. And then I'll lift back up. I've changed my mind. Okay, one more time. And as I come back to the centre, I'm just going to change my legs over. So we stopped kind of halfway, so we're going to pick up the right arm. We're going to take that side stretch over to the left, gazing in to the inner right arm. And then we're going to go and change sides again, gaze into the left. You're looking lovely. And then change. Okay, so we're going to hold it here, side stretching over to the left, right arm alongside of the ear. And then we're going to lift both arms off the floor, but we're actually facing the left leg. That's it. Then you're going to bring your fingertips either side of the left knee. Same thing. It's almost like you decide you're going to explore the release over the leg, and then you change your mind and you go, no, and you lift back out of it. So just do that a couple more times. So I'll have a little look at what you're doing. Just pick up my extra notes. Good. Okay, from this position, ease yourself back to the centre, and then from there, just extend the legs out and give them a little shake. So just want to bring a little bit of fluidity to the shoulders. So as you swing your legs around, come onto all fours. Hands underneath the shoulders, knees underneath the hips. I'm just having a little shimmy with my hips. As I come back to stillness, I'm going to take my top chest forward, explore the idea of trying to drag the heels of my hands towards the knees. And then as I exhale, taking that lovely lift up through the front body to lengthen out with the back body. So just a couple more times into that cat-cow movement. I'm not going to focus a lot on this, so the next time we take that angry cat movement, I just want you to slide the bottom to the heels. And as you do so, take your attention back to the left side. So slide the arms forward just for a few moments, and then turn the back of the left hand to the floor. So as you inhale, you're going to slide the back of that left hand along the floor. You're going to look at it behind you, and then you're going to roll it all the way forward, checking it out the whole time. Then you're sliding it back. You're lifting the arm, rolling it forward. Big movement through the shoulder joint. Twice more. Check it out. Look at it as much as you can. Excellent. Now the next time, on this fourth time, as that left arm comes forward, you're going to keep it there. Make sure you turn the body back to face the floor, tuck your right toes under, slide the right leg out behind you, and then reach into that right heel so you end up in the Superman position. Brilliant. Deep breaths there. From there, bring your left hand to the floor. You're going to take your right leg across to the left. As it goes to the left, see if you can lower the toes down. So I've got my toes on the floor, the heel in the air. Then I'm going to reach it back behind me, and then I'm going to send it over to the right. You can put the toes down or you can keep it high, up to you. Back to centre, over to the left. That's it, back to centre. Now keep a little bit of connection to the core here, over to the right, and then ending up back over at the left and take a little glance over your left shoulder. See if you can see that said foot. From there, slide that leg back out behind you and bring the knee back in so you're in cat position. Breathe in, send the top chest forward. Breathe out, we're going to change sides. Bring the bottom all the way back to the heels. As you do that, I'm just going to change sides so you can see me. I'm going to extend my arm slightly, turn the back of my right hand to the floor. And then I'm inhaling, sliding the right arm out behind me, gazing at it, and then extending the arm forward. So it starts as an inhale and it moves into an exhale. We're doing 4. This is number 2. Try and keep your gaze on that arm. Open that top chest. And at number 4, which is the next one coming up, it's going to end up into Superman, right arm extended, slide the left hand back underneath the shoulder, tuck the left toes under, extending the left leg out, and then lift the left leg. Lifting that front pubis. Take a few breaths into that opposite arm to leg extension. Just when you think you can't bear to balance on your wrists anymore, bring the hands back underneath the shoulders. Now you can go on your fists if the wrists are hurting. You're going to cross the left leg over to the right. Lift it back up. Take it to the left. Up to you whether you keep it high. I just find I kind of want to keep it high on that side. Really just looking for that mobility in the hips. I've gone back to the left. Keep that tummy lifted so you're not dipping in the waist. And eventually I'm going to end up crossing that left leg over to the right. So that I'm looking over my right shoulder and checking out the heel, the left heel. Good. And then I'm sliding back, bringing the knee back in, and just once again, up facing cat. This time exhale, angry cat, bring the bottom to the heels, and then walk the arms forward. The wrists will be a bit achy now, so we're going to come on to the fingertips. So my head is just drizzled between the arms. Shoulders are nice and relaxed. And once again, I'm just going to take a little side stretch, lengthening from the side of the waist. I'm going to walk my hands on the fingertips over to the right. So lengthening through the left side waist, keeping the head in between the arms, trying to keep that left buttock on the heel or as close as possible. Feel the stretch into the shoulder, drop that left shoulder if you can. And then walking the arms back to centre. And then over to the other side. Nice. Sense that release into the shoulders. And then from there, walk the fingertips back in. Finishing off this little section in extended child. And then from there, we're going to start to move a little bit more. So we're in extended child. Now, this is a movement I want you to try and do quietly. So I want you to try and feel there's some control. So I'm extending out, and if you need to look at your screen to see me, that's absolutely fine. I'm in this extended child position. What I'm going to do as I inhale is I'm going to lead with the crown of my head, Slide the crown of the head forward. At the same time, I'm going to try and step quietly my left foot outside of my left hand. And then I'm going to release the leg back. So I'm back in extended child, exhale. Inhale, take the gaze forward, change to the right. Now I don't want you to sling the foot down. I want you to feel that there's a little bit of mobility coming into that hip. So you're placing the foot. Now if you have to lift the wrist, it's fine. If you have to help the foot, it's fine. Just keeping this mobilization of the hip. We'll do one more set. Left and right. That's it. You might find one's easier than the other. And then the next time you take your left foot forward, just move the left hand so you're bringing the left foot in a little bit. So we're going to go into crescent lunge from here. So if you need padding underneath your right knee, it's a good time to do it. When you're ready, either toes tucked under or not on the right, you're going to lift up your arms into that lovely crescent lunge, lifting the heart centre. Now just make sure that left knee stays in line with the left ankle. Now we did a lot of backward movement with the arms before, so we're going to do forward movement this time. So you're going to move the arms forward, and then as you bring the arms back out behind you, you're going to open that top chest and look up, almost as if you're welcoming in warm, hot sunshine. And then you're going to go forward again and welcome in that warm, hot sunshine. Good. One more time. From warm, hot sunshine, you're then going to bring the arms into a T position, and as you exhale, you're going to twist to the left. Then from there, you're going to take your left hand to the back of the right thigh and bring your right arm alongside of the ear. That's it. Make sure you don't pull that knee back. So bring a bit more weight into that left foot. Now you've got options here. You can either take your straight right arm around your left leg, just like this. Or if you want to do more, you can bend in at the elbow and end up in a knee down, twisted side angle position. So up to you. Might find that if you tuck the back toes under, it helps a little bit. Feels a little bit awkward to start with, but go with it. Couple of breaths. It's going to really affect your down dog, so it's always a positive. And then from there, release the hands either side of the foot and you know, it's a good practice when you want to go into down dog. Just have a little bit of a walk out with your dog. Woo. Remember, connecting to those sensations. And then from there, release yourself into a kind of plank position, but you're then going to drop the knees and you're going to release to the floor, knees, pelvis, tummy, chest, chin. And then you're going to lift back up the way you went in. So feel as though you can lift up through the heart, press with the hands, and then peel your bottom back to the heels so you can take down dog again. And then drop the knees back down. Bring your bottom to the heels. We're changing sides. So quietly step your right foot outside of the right hand. And then bring that right foot in. When you're ready, take crescent lunge. Remember, if you need padding under that left knee, it's a good time to do it. No shame in that. So same thing, we're doing forward extension, forward rolls of the arms, so they're going to come forward. And then they're going to lift back out behind you. And you're going to open to welcome in that hot sunshine. Forward. And oh, you can dream it. And after the next, that open into that V shape, keep the chest slightly lifted, bring the arms into a T position, and then twist to the right. Take your right hand to the back of your left thigh and bring your left arm alongside of the ear and just see, does it feel any different to the right side or the other side? And then from there, remember, you can either take that left hand outside of the right leg, left straight arm, or you can bend into your left elbow and release into your twisting side angle position. Just as much as you can do, yeah? Remember, I'm not taking the alignment issue too much tonight. It's more of a fluid movement. And then bring the hands either side of the foot. Step back into dog. Have your little walk out. And then as you inhale, flow forward into plank, but then start to release the knees, start to release the thighs, the hips, the tummy, the chest. Have a little breather. And then come out the way you went in. Lift the chest. Slide back, bottom to heels. Okay, we're back to that left side again. Gaze forward. Step the left foot through. Now this time we're taking it a little bit higher. So once your left foot is between your hands, left knee in line with ankle, you're going to tuck your back toes under and lift your back knee. So you're in like a runner's lunge. Now this is going to move into what we call standing stick. So I'm going to take my fingertips forward. I'm going to inhale, balance on my left leg and lift my right leg. So right leg is extending out behind me. Now yet again, I want a quiet release. So as you exhale, quietly take those right big toes to the floor. Don't slam them down. Let's have some control from the pelvis. And then lift up again. Down you go again. And lift. And on the third time, you're stepping into warrior 3. So as you place that right foot down, it's going to come into a tramline foot position. Slide your hands back either side of your left foot and just have that little rock with your pelvis again. Finishing with the right side of the hips moving down, and then from here, you're coming into standings. Standing warrior 2. So the front knee is bent, back heel is on the floor and the hips facing forward. So lift up with the inner thighs. I'm going to take myself a little bit wider. So I'm going to start with my arms in those sleeves. So what I'm going to do is as I exhale, I'm going to take warrior 1. Bring the palms together, look towards the thumbs. Nice. I'm going to inhale, and then as I exhale, I'm going to release my arms behind me, clasp them, and then fall forward. Now it's just going to be a partial fold first. So like a flat back. Then I'm going to reach into the feet again. Inhale, swoop the arms wide. Exhale, draw the arms back into warrior 1. Inhale, release, clasp them behind the back. And up to you, you can either go half forward, just as we've done already, or you can take the head to the shins and send the clasp hands up to the ceiling. Obviously breathe in while you're there this time. Try and level those hips. And keep that pelvis stable. And then from there, flatten the back, release the hands back to the floor. Now you're going to step back into dog, so you'll need to take your right foot back a little bit more. And then left foot joins the right. Inhale to plank. Exhale, bend the knees. So it's not Adho Chaturanga, it's a rolling down. And then it's a rolling up on the inhale. Back into down dog. And then releasing the knees to the floor. Bring the bottom to the heels, exhale. Step the right foot. Quietly. Okay, you ready for this one? Tuck the back toes under, lift the back knee. Runner's lunge. Take the fingertips forward. Breathing in, lift that back leg, flatten the back if you can. Breathing out, touch down with the left toes, but try not to crash down. And again. And on the third time, you're coming down into tramline feet. Make sure the pelvis is level, make sure the hips are happy. The feet are fully on the floor, and then bring yourself up into warrior one. Arms begin reaching out from the armpits. Make sure these hips are facing forward by lifting up through the inner thighs. So almost imagine you're squeezing a broomstick between the thighs. Okay, you're going to wrap those arms forward, warrior one position. Lovely. From there, release the arms, clasp them behind the back. Exhale, halfway, forward with the chest, with the crown of the head. Inhale, release back up, back into warrior one. Nice. So your choice as you take this second time, either stay with that flat back position, knowing you're going to hold it for a couple of breaths, or take the head down towards the shin and send those clasped hands up to the sky. This is the most energetic, the movements tonight. Release the hands, bring them back either side of the foot, step the left foot back and then the right, you're coming back into down dog. And then you're going to inhale to plank. And as you exhale, bend the knees. Take the pelvis down, the belly down. And then have a little breather on the floor. Crocodile position, laid on your tummy. Give yourself a few moments just to allow the heart rate to release. In fact, while you're doing that, just bend your right heel towards your bottom and then change it for your left. Just lightly, slowly softening into the knees, kicking into the bottom. That's it. Okay, eventually ending up legs extended. Just For a second, tuck the toes of the left foot under, keep them on the floor, lift into that left heel or stretch into the left heel until the thigh and the knee are lifted. Holding it there just for a second. Well, or a second or a few. And then release. Feel the bones of the leg heavy on the left. And do the same on the right, tucking the right toes under. Reaching into the right heel and lifting the knee and the thigh. And then. Great, this, if you ever feel as though you've just overdone it on your back, this is a fantastic position. If you've been bending a lot, okay, release that right leg. Or if you've been out in the garden weeding, I know it's not the time of the year at the moment, but just want to put in to your toolbox. So, in your crocodile position, I just want you to have your left hand on top of your right hand and your forehead on top of the back of your left hand. So just a little movement just to start to move into these upper shoulders. I want you to imagine that the back of the left hand is glued to the forehead. As you exhale, I want you to gently activate the inner thighs, draw them to the midline, engage the pelvic floor and the front pubis. Keep that core engagement, and then as you inhale, press the right hand and elbow into the floor and lift the upper chest, the left elbow, the left hand. And then gently release on the exhale. So think of it like the crocodile jaw. So lovely core engagement first. Keep the core engagement, use the air inhale to get that lift. And then release. It's almost like somebody's walked into the room and you're just looking for them. I just want you to do 2 more on this side. Nice. Good. Don't force the shoulders. Try and really lift from the top chest. And then have a little breather. Have a little rock from side to side with the hips. And then change sides. So bring your right hand on top of your left hand. Exactly the same movement here. Don't forget about that core. Inner thighs active, pelvic floor active. And then use your left hand to press into the floor. Use the top chest and the core to lift. Right elbow, right arm, head, neck and shoulders. No tension in the shoulders. Just about that lift into the top chest. So this might feel a little bit sticky. It's one of those things, you know, we spend a lot of time in winter hunched forward. It's good to do the opposite. Can you do one more? And then take a moment, soften the shoulders again. Take the hands to the rib cage and just take a little counter pose back into some variation of child pose. So it could be regular child, or you might prefer polar bear. Hands or fists underneath the forehead. You can have the knees wide if you prefer. Just a little softening. Now I've got a new move and I've had some really good results with it today. So I'm hoping it's going to work out for you guys. So it might be one you've got to watch me first. So if you can watch me from where you are, we're actually going to start on our tummies again with this new move. So just have a quick eyeball. Basically what we're going to do is I'm going to do my left side so you can see me. I'm going to bring my left heel to my buttock. Then I'm going to lift up onto my right elbow. So from here, I'm going to release my left arm. I'm going to lift up onto my right elbow, bring my left hand underneath the shoulder, and I'm just going to lift that left leg so the foot touches behind my back. Now, ideally, I want it to end up touching the floor and I can lift my left arm. Not mirroring you for this, so just be aware of that. Okay, and then I'll bring it back to the floor. Now you might think, well, that's pretty easy, Jules. But what's really nice is if you can, when you get to this position, so my left knee is in the air, left foot to the floor, what I'm going to try and do is pick up my left ankle. So I've got a little bit of a quad stretch coming here. I'm going to turn forward and stretch out my quad without having to drag the heel towards my bottom. And I can take it back into that first position. Okay. Right. Let's do this together. So start your crocodile position. From here, bring your left heel towards your bottom. Release your left hand and bring it underneath the shoulder. Press into the left hand and roll onto your right side, bringing your left toes or foot to the space outside of your right thigh. And then you can lift your left arm in the air. It's a bit like you're waiting for a cocktail. Okay, now we're going to go straight to the quad thing. If you don't want to get hold of your left heel with your left hand, don't worry. But what I'm going to do is hold my ankle and then I'm going to roll back onto my front so that I've taken the quad stretch. Still holding on to my left ankle, I'm going to reach into my right arm and open up again. Yeah, I can lift that left arm, take back hold of my left ankle and roll into a quad stretch. We'll do that. I just want to see if anybody's looking at me with puzzlement, but it looks as though nobody is. That's a good sign. I'm hoping you're going, wowzers, I can really do a proper quad stretch like that. Good. Okay, once you've done a few, have a little breather and then take yourself back to child again, or dog. Either would be fine. It's just so that you're just comparing one side of the body to the other. And then you're going to take that whole move onto the other side. So I'm going to go to the other end of my mat so that you can see me. So this time it's my right heel to the bottom, my right hand under the shoulder. I roll over onto the outer left side or the little toe side of my left foot, left leg, right foot to the floor, right knee in the air, right arm lifts. Then I can pick up that right ankle. Then I'm just going to take the hip and roll the right hip down to the floor, and it's going to take me into that lovely quad stretch. And lift it back up. That's it. Lift my right arm. Lovely. Now, if you can't hold a foot, don't worry, you can do it without holding the foot. You could just turn back, quad stretch with the right heel towards the buttock. Just a different way of moving into that position. When you're done, when you've done 3, that's absolutely enough. Have a little breather. Have a little rock from side to side as you're on your tummy. And then slide the bottom back to the heels. Child's pose. Cool. So, already we're coming to the end of the practice, which is phenomenal because I still got things I haven't done yet. But I'd like us to finish with a little twist. So if you did bring a cushion to the practice, you could use that. If you've got a block or a brick handy, you could use that. All that we're going to do is as we come onto our backs, we're just going to take something, be it a cushion or a block or a brick, and just slide it between the legs. It just keeps the hips in this nice level pelvis area. Then from there, we're going to take the left arm out in line with the shoulder. We're going to roll all the way over to the left side, bringing the legs as close to the left arm as possible into the fetal position. Then move that right arm beyond the left fingertips, turning the forehead into the floor and just opening out that right shoulder. Keep the legs where they are, stroke back across the floor, down the left arm and across the chest, keeping the elbow bent, sliding the right elbow to the side. Doesn't have to touch the floor because we're just going to roll it back. Stroke back across the left arm and beyond, turn the forehead into the floor. Just do one more this side. It's just a nice releasing movement from all those kind of little back bendy things we've been doing. From there, breathe in, bring the legs back to the center. And then when you're ready, extend the right arm, roll over to the right. You've got this. Legs as close to the right arm as possible. Left arm moves beyond the right arm, forehead turns into the floor. And then opens up. Stroking across the chest with the left fingertips. And then back and down the right arm. One more time. And as you ease yourself back to center, you might find you've got to readjust yourself a little bit. We're going straight from this position into relaxation. So if you did need that little bit of support underneath your head, feel free to bring that in. If you want to put on any warm clothes, that's also fine. I guess what I want you to try and sense at the end of this practice as we come into our relaxation is the heaviness of your bones. So if you decide to do semi-supine or shavasana, same thing, just notice. Can you surrender the weight of your skeleton into the earth. Allowing this to soften. The sockets to feel heavy and relax within the face. Back of the head, completely supported by the earth. And that includes, if you've got it on a support, it's still the earth. We're comparing the right and the left sides of your body. They're evenly balanced. So the weight's evenly distributed. Experience the back of your shoulder blades. Notice the back of your rib cage. Out that lumbar curve. Is it a short, sharp dip or a small hillock? What about pelvis? Is the pelvis still feeling level? Notice the legs, their connection to the earth. What about the arms, the hands, the feet? And finally, imagine you are lying on a sandy beach. What sort of imprint would you be leaving on the sand? Quite often with this practice, maybe a reluctancy to come off the floor. So be kind to yourself. Feel you can take your time and begin to move the fingers and the toes. Perhaps roll the head from side to side. And without any need to rush or panic, just take your time, stretching, sighing. Maybe drawing the knees back into the chest. Perhaps taking some little rocks from side to side, or keeping the legs together and drawing circles in the air with the knees. And then eventually coming into the fetal position, maybe rolling on to your right side. Just gently easing yourself into sitting. And even as you come into sitting, just be thinking about that length, that magic thread, the crown of the head, sense of lengthening into the neck and just drawing the back of the tip of the chin to the back of the throat, or the back of the neck to the back of the imaginary collar. And then to complete our practice, as we always do, just releasing the arms to the side, gathering the energy, gazing up. And then as the palms come together, gently sliding the thumbs down to seal the practice through the third eye, to the lips and the throat, and to the heart. The spirit within me, bow to the spirit within you. Namaste.